I'm Dave Monster from Dr. Monster, here recording, interviewing my brothers from Suicide Junkies, Stephen X and Bon Toxic.
Now I sing and play guitar, Stephen sings and plays bass.
Blood and bread, the victims have been bled. Blood.
Okay. Stephen.
Well, I wanted to make a band, and I got Nigel. He was willing
I wanted
to
to help
out.
him because he had done a lot of work with me in bands.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pay him back. We grabbed my brother who could play the drums.
And eventually it started to become, we're both writing, both singing, and it became a band.
Yeah, it's like, so it was Stephen wanting to do a straight out punk rock project.
Yeah.
And he had about half an album, and it sort of just became, by osmosis we became an actual band. For me and my brother Jamie, it was like therapy because we had lost our brother Sean Toxic in a car accident, the bass player from Horror Story. So Horror Story had stopped for the meantime because of that, and it was something, I couldn't understand with anyone. Stephen was someone that, has been playing music with me for a long time, and having my other younger brother finally step up to the drums, we were able to make something slightly more than just Stephen's project. It became its own thing.
Became its own thing, that's right.
A band. You're just looking for a good name, right? Like whatever.
So much names are taken already,
Like,
and
we tried a lot, right? Like
Yeah.
the F-holes was, Stephen wanted the F-holes and it was like, nah, it's a band, sorry.
like Skull with the two F-holes.
But it was already taken, and it was like, we had a few names, and then finally I was like, Suicide Junkies, and it was like, we didn't even really think about the fact there was a band called the Murder Junkies, which is weird because we are GG fans,
Yeah.
but it was more like, well, it just sounds good, fuck it, that's a good name, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. Well, it's punk rock, it's melodic,
It's hardcore, it's abrasive, but yeah, you've got Stephen singing and me singing, you've got us both singing together, so there is a lot of sort of sing-along fucking going on, and it's just really, obviously, because of who we are, we couldn't help but have some horror punk seep in. It's just natural. We tried I tried hard not to go there, but it happened, right?
The writing worked really well with his horror story or horror writing with punk rock writing online.
Like we were
gelled very well.
We were looking at trying to get something that wasn't like straight out horror punk, but something that horror punks would maybe be able to listen to, and so would normal punks. If there's a normal punk sort of out there, it was just a matter of wanting to play some rock and roll and not really be too concerned about our makeup, and just to be able to fucking,
really just jamming at the start, and it turned into what it turned into. There's obviously the classics, all the punk bands from the 70s and whatnot onwards, but there's so much to name.
Motorhead, Cramps, Ramones,
Misfits.
You know the list.
Everyone knows.
It's the list.
Yeah.
And
They've been going way back,
and then
Stooges and whatnot.
as well as that, there's a heavy influence from things like G.G. Allen and of course, once again, Cancer Slug. It's called Razorblade Rock, and here's not a copy in my hand. If I was onto it, I would have grabbed one earlier.
There might be something pop up.
So it's going to pop up magically. No, it's not. But the album, Razor Blade Rock, and it was like, you know, it was like half mine, half Stefan's, more or less. And then there was songs we collaborated on, and we just went in the studio, bashed it out live like we do everything else.
That's right.
And, you know,
there's more to come.
We just wanted to get, you know, like, you know, if we're doing something, we always want to document it in some way. Because we're in New Zealand, we want it to be able to be heard, you know, on every planet in the fucking universe, right?
Yeah.
So we have to record because, for whatever reason, it's so fucking hard to get out of this country. You know, recording is the only way.
It's essential.
Well, in this country, you don't, so like you can't tour. There's not a lot of. I mean, we have like say 3 centres or 4 centres that you could maybe play in this island, and then there's another island that, you know, maybe has a couple places. So I mean, you know, it's more like spot gigs around the place, right, Stephen?
It's not like touring in America or anything.
It sucks, and we're like trapped here. I mean, to get out of here.
We'd love to be where you are, touring our music with you guys, but no.
I mean, obviously, you see, like, not even Horror Story have been able to break through that. You know, as just crazy motherfuckers in general, it's hard for us to afford to get the funds to fucking tour around this country, let alone get out of it, which has proved to be very fucking difficult. We have tried. From us, right?
From us on the internet.
Just go
get a hold of us.
Go on Facebook, come to the Suicide Junkies page, and drop me a message. Tell me you want the fucking album, or you want the fucking t-shirt, or whatever you want a fucking,
and we'll hook
you want
you
a
up.
prostitute, you want, I mean, I don't know. But,
we will hook you up.
Yeah, you can get it through us, whether you got PayPal, or you want to send us some Colombian heroin. You know, we can do a deal. Right now we don't, you know, we're a very new band. We haven't worried about interpunk or anything like that. We're just, you know, just trying to be a band.
What is it, Facebook? Get a hold of Facebook?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Get hold of us on Facebook. Or you can get hold of me on my Horror Punks profile. But, you know, just get hold of us. We use a guitar head on the bass, right, Stephen?
Yeah.
It's called a Maniac. We would show you, but it seems to be a hassle to get up. So we use like a Maniac guitar head on the bass.
It's over there.
We use fucking LTD guitars. We use like LTD Gothic for bass. We use crate
guitar
amplification for the guitar. Celestian speakers.
Yeah.
As far as drums go.
We used to use the Doyle strings, but it's hard to find them in New Zealand now.
They've turned into famous monster strings now. They're not called Doyle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're not Doyle one Frankenstein gauge. You can still get the Jerry-only bass strings, of course, but we prefer the cheap ones, which, you know, is about how we do it. We just max out our distortion, use a lot of bottom, a lot of top and no mids, and always chuck some overdubs on the recording. You know, when you're a 3-piece, you know, it's always good to chunk things out with some extra guitar. Okay, this is classic, right? I think I should probably start with this. Okay, so I'm in Horror Story. I started Horror Story. I had been in a band called Horror Business. Started out as a Misfits tribute band called Teenagers from Mars, going way back. And, you know, so Horror Story is what it is. Psychotronic X was like my band that was like, you know, I had too many songs for just horror stories pace, so I started Psychotronic X with me singing. Now Stefan eventually became a member of Psychotronic X. He filled in for Sean Toxic as a bass player, and he filled in, actually joined the band as a lead guitarist. He filled in Horror Story as a bass player. He also is now the Horror Story bass player. You, our interviewer, Mr. Dave Monster, is the bass player from Dr. Monster.
Yep.
Stefan X is the guitarist from Dr. Monster.
So we are the horror
I'm the
scene.
drummer from Dr. Monster. So, if you want to talk about horror punk in New Zealand, you're pretty much talking about one group of people. We are all on Demon Nation Music, which is our label, and you will find us hanging out in dark, dodgy places. I mean, horror punk scene, I guess there's starting to be one, because there's a lot of fans out there that dig.
Now, there was just a Misfits concert, and it was huge, so horror punk.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, it's not, I mean, it's definitely not a huge thing like it is in other countries, as far as a lot of horror punk dudes around, but, I mean, I was surprised to see some painted faces at the Misfits show, apart from our own, and, you know, that says Horror Story playing, you know, so, I guess, you know, it's permeating through the culture. I mean, the closest thing we ever had to anything like that in New Zealand was a band called Flesh Device, which was something we sort of modelled ourselves around, because they had like the horror thing, but they were a straight punk band.
Yeah.
And that's one
thing
Stefan
sort of
said.
What I wanted to go for with my band, and what I wanted to do, which turned into Suicide Junkies. Flesh Device was a big influence on that.
So, you know, check out Flesh Device if you get the chance.
Not with the new age of internet, that's the best thing for us. It's the only thing, because we're stuck in this hellhole. So, thanks to this, we can get to you guys.
Digital media, right? I mean, giving our shit away for download, or, you know, posting live footage if we've got it, or making a video clip. I mean, we still hope to do a lot of these things, because we're, like I say, we're a new thing. We're still in the beginning of what we're doing, but you know, that will come. Cancer slug.
Getting what?
Getting our blood flowing.
Flowing.
Getting us hard.
My blood doesn't flow. I don't have blood.
Blood?
Nah. Yeah, Cancer Slug. Fucking the Raymen. I really love the Raymen. And there's a lot. Too much.
There's so many great bands out there, and so many. I mean, I love so many fucking horror punk bands that I fucking love.
Yeah.
But you know, like
Dick Dynamite and the Doppelgangers.
Great New Zealand band. They just call themselves the Doppelgangers now.
New Zealand band touring overseas.
I think they're sort of more in Europe actually. But if you're in Europe, check out the Doppelgangers. Great psychobilly. But I just think, you know, like I'm always looking for a great new sound. I mean, horror punk bands. You know, I want to hear something new. There's such great fucking stuff out there. I mean, I just say, you know, everyone keep trying to do a great job, and I'll keep trying to fucking listen to it. Free time?
We write a lot of music.
We just do music, man. That's all we
that's
fucking
our
do.
life. Rock and roll.
We write fucking music. We record music. We try and play it if we can. We try and gig. We're stuck in this shitty little fucking place. It might be beautiful, but it's fucked, right? It's like living in paradise, except there's nothing happening. You know,
in those downtimes, you gotta do your own thing.
I mean, you know, we're already
smoke, whatever.
Yeah, that's it. You know, you're trying to change your state of mind in some sort of fucking way or another.
Get some nice skills.
Sex is obviously a good pastime.
Yes.
getting fucked up and doing fucked up shit, right?
That's us.
Fucking hell.
New album coming out pretty fucking soon, man. Really soon. We're just about to lay the
Guitars.
so
We,
and guitars, vocals, and
Yeah, we quickly got in the studio about 3 months or so, 4 months after the first album. We found we had a second album up our fucking sleeve, so we went to the studio and laid down the live tracks for that. And in the last week of January, we go back into the studio to add the guitar overdubs and hopefully the vocal overdubs, and we'll mix the fucker, and then it'll come out. You can check us out on our Facebook page. There's a link on horrorpunks.com. You can check us out on the music.net website. There's a link on horrorpunks.com. You can check us out. Fucking eventually we'll have some live footage on YouTube, and we'll, hopefully have a video and
some videos coming soon.
It just takes time to do these things, because as well as doing this band, we're doing things like Horror Story, we're doing things like trying to do maybe a third Dr. Monster album, we're fucking, we've got like another album in the works, there's another album there that was done that, still waiting on a vocalist, and we have a lot of stuff being recorded, a lot of great horror punk and punk rock and roll. So, we'll be constantly releasing stuff under the names you know, and maybe under some names you don't. Keep supporting punk rock and roll.
Yep. Fucking look out for us on the net, because you're gonna, unless you travel to New Zealand, that's the only way you'll be able to see us. So
sorry, we just can't get out of here.
Really,
they won't let us.
Track us down on the net and you'll find all our stuff, and hopefully you'll love it.
We're going to put up the album, Razor Blade Rock and Roll. It's going to be available on horrorpunks.com for fucking at least a week for free download on the last week of the takeover, so everyone can have a copy. So
yours.
Grab the fucking album for free. If you want to buy one, then drop us a line on Facebook and we'll fucking sort one out. If you want a t-shirt, if you don't win a t-shirt and you want to buy a t-shirt, drop us a line on Facebook, we'll sort you out. Fucking
rock on, guys.
Just keep supporting fucking punk rock, keep supporting great metal, keep supporting fucking horrorpunks.com, World Horror Network, Fiend Force, any of the great fucking labels out there. If anyone wants to hook us up with some sort of distribution or international deal,
we're looking for that. Yeah.
And that's any Demon Nation band, Dr. Monster, Horror Story, Psychotrode X,
and thanks
Suicide Junkies.
Thanks to the website for the takeover. It's choice.
We just want to thank Marquis,
Yeah.
the Marquis. We want to thank
That's right.
Shane Diablo and Shane Hahn. And also we want to thank Dr. Dave Monster from Dr. Monster